we got some comments. Dan Campbell met with the media today, his weekly press conference addressing the media. He talked about Sam Laporta a little bit, how he's improving, but he's not sure it's going to be a game-time decision whether he plays or not. But he also talked about everybody's saying Stafford returning to Detroit. Stafford, his first playoff game in Detroit, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jared Goff also has a lot on the line in this game, too. Jared Goff going against the team that threw him away, the coach that threw him away, the team that said he can't get it done, that drafted him, his hometown team. Dan Campbell addressed that and what this game might mean for Jared Goff and his revenge against the Rams.
How do you see him carrying that into this weekend?
Well, I don't think you're going to see anything different than what he's been. I don't think he's going to say anything different. I mean, it's human nature to feel a certain way when, you would feel the same way. And that's just human nature. But I think he's handled it all well. I don't think this is going to be something that he loses sleep over, that he loses focus on. He understands this. If you really feel that way, the best way to do it is to play the very best football you can play. And for him, that means I got to go back to the walkthrough, the meeting rooms, the walkthrough, the practice. I got to be on point, my footwork, the run checks, I got to read the coverage, I got to read this top down. I got to get the progress, all those little things that come with playing the position. He's got to be on it. And that's the best way to, get what you want.
That's Dan Campbell's take on it, and I think it fits perfectly for what we know Jared Goff is. He is the consummate professional. He's not going to let something like this, scare him off, get him distracted. He's been in the playoffs before. He knows what it's like to play in playoff games. He knows what it's like to play at home in playoff games. So he's not going to let the gravity of this situation affect his gameplay. I don't buy that. I think he is going to go into there. He's going to handle his business. He's going to punch in, clock in, do what he has to do, and get the win, because that's what he's done. He has shown that he is a professional. He doesn't let the outside influence what he does on the field. So yeah. I think Jared Goff, although he wants this win, he's not going to tell us. He's not going to tell his teammates that. He's not going to tell the media that. But they know he wants this win. We know he wants this win. This team threw him away. This is like, I don't know, your girlfriend dumped you, and then she comes to a wedding, and you get into a fight with her new boyfriend. And you either whoop his ass or you get your ass whooped, and you're going to feel like a king or you're going to feel like a turd. So he wants this more than anything, and I know his teammates know that, but I don't think he's going to let it affect his performance on the field.
Honestly, no. Listen, man, when he walked into Detroit, I remember that first press conference. I know a lot of people have been looking at a lot of his old videos. I've been seeing kind of like the highlight and the tribute videos to Jared Goff, and a lot of the things that he said, just kind of personifying Detroit to his own experience and saying, you know what? I know what football means here. I know what it means to be able to get this team a playoff win. I know what it means to get this team to the playoffs. I know what it means to not fail here. I know how badly these fans want that. And he said, we're going to get it done. And you can see it in his eyes. It wasn't just about being butthurt about what the Rams did, but about knowing he believes in himself a lot more than the Rams do. He believes in himself just as much as Brad Holmes and the organization that brought him in do. And they all said it. Dan Campbell said, look, he's tough. Yeah. He's resilient. He's a winner. And he will win for us here. And it's that type of stuff, honestly, that whether or not he may have some ducks, as you call as you do,
he definitely does.
Like, the mindset that he has and the ability to kind of go out there and put it all together. Like let's think about what we're actually talking about when we say Jared Goff. He just won the division for the Detroit Lions as a starting quarterback. First time ever. Yeah. Ever. We probably all sat here before this and all wondered, how much longer is it going to be before we host a game, a playoff game? How much longer before we actually win the NFC North? Yeah. And these are things that Jared Goff, over any other quarterback that's ever played here, including Matthew Stafford, he could say, I did this. Now, I'm glad that he also has this kind of mindset that the job's not done yet and that the Lions are carrying that swagger too. If Jared Goff makes this about his storyline, I think that's the wrong thing. I think as long as he continues to make it about his team, makes it about the success that they can have, makes it about the fact that Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, and Aaron Glenn, they're going to come to the table with a great game plan. Yeah. As long as he continues to make it about that and supporting his guys and obviously the analytics of it all, the analysis of it all, play a clean game. That's what Jared Goff has to be about. And as long as he's that, I believe the Lions are going to have a great opportunity to have this be a storybook ending for Jared Goff. Play football, let the rest of the stuff take care of itself.
I agree. And, I've said a lot about Jared Goff in my time on the mic. I've said a lot of the things that I dislike about Jared Goff in my time at the mic. But one thing I've never said about him is that, or one thing I've always said about him is that he is a professional. That's what he is. Since day one, he's a professional. He goes in there. He takes care of business. He's not going to do anything crazy. He's not going to let his emotions affect him. He is not going to let the gravity of the game affect him. And he's been in this situation before. Hosting a home playoff game as a division championship is nothing new to Jared Goff. He has done this before. So I wouldn't say the lights are going to be too bright for him. Again, there is a little bit of extra spice on it when you see Sean McVay and you see those Rams colors walking through the tunnel because, yeah, it should piss you off. And I hope it pisses him off. And as a competitor, I think it will piss him off. Because every competitor will see that. They'll see the team that threw you away, that casted you aside, and they'll be like, all right, motherfucker, here's one for you. Here's one to take home. So I expect him to be the Jared Goff that we've seen all year. I expect him to go out there, perform well, and I expect the Lions to win this game. JB, how do you feel about the Jared Goff revenge game that not many people are talking about? We're talking a lot about Stafford.
Yeah, we're talking a whole lot about Stafford, which is kind of weird and odd. But as you said, Spencer, this former franchise that he was with just threw him away like he was one of Andy's toys from Toy Story. You got to look at it from this way.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
They just dropped him over here. You got to be thinking this way. I fully think that Jared Goff is locked in for this game. If you don't think that he's not been waiting for an opportunity to go back up against his franchise with a complete team of what she has right now, you've got to be kidding. I think he is more locked in than anything ever. And I know how a lot of people say don't piss off Matthew Stafford because he could have one of those games. What about don't piss off Jared Goff? Because he could have one of those games to where he is just hey, I'm believing it. I'm buying into the Kool-Aid, and I truly believe that don't piss off Jared Goff because he could have one of those games once again where he's just on fire. So,
yeah, I mean, we threw for, what was it, 5 touchdowns against the Broncos? What's to say he can't do it against the Rams?
Bro, he marched in the Lambeau Field, and not only did the fans take over Lambeau, but Jared Goff took over Lambeau.
Yeah, last year in
That's
the cold.
epic.
Yeah.
Bro, how many times did we see quarterbacks going to Lambeau? I mean, even games where we were supposed to win, like the Flynn game, just lives in my mind rent-free. But instead, Goff walked in, and he's had some feats that we haven't seen other quarterbacks have here. I want to see Goff go into this game and absolutely, you got to take it personal for your own self.
Yeah.
Don't make it personal to your team, but yourself, man. Have some type of standard. You know what I mean? Don't be pining over the team that got away, the team that threw you away. Because you know what's different about this opportunity with the Lions? It's the fact that this team actually believes in him. I don't know how much the Rams ever believed in Goff beyond like his first couple years. Mm-hmm. These guys believe in him. They're going to bat for him. The coach is standing up for him. The GM is standing up for him. And this is in contrast to the former team that everybody from the top down was basically like, Jared Goff, They wouldn't even commit to him, bro. Like,
they wouldn't let him call his own play. They wouldn't let him call audibles.
Skip that, bro. Now all of a sudden, the keys are in your hands. There's no more driver's permit. This is your car to drive. And it's fitting that it's in the Motor City. And I want to see Jared Goff go out there and absolutely go ham. This has to be the cleanest game he's played. It has to be the meanest game he's played. It has to be the one where he's thinking outside the box, and he's absolutely trying to throw darts and daggers all game long.
Yeah.
All game long, man. Because you know what? Losing now, but beating them next regular season, that's not
Doesn't
it, bro.
mean anything.
That's not it.
No. This will mean more.
Yeah.
Chris, how you feeling?
I mean, come on, guys. You know he has the opportunity to do the best thing ever, right? Mm-hmm. Like, go out there, ball, walk out to the press conference, Tupac, hit him up. That's why I fuck your bitch. And just come out there and talk that shit. I know he won't do that. He's a professional guy. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. But come on, man. Do it.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I hope, because as much as I don't think we should give him $50 million a year that I've explained, and I don't think he is the top talent when it comes to quarterback, he is our quarterback. I want him to succeed. This is my team, the Detroit Lions. I want him to have the best game he's ever played every single time he steps on the field. Anytime we said anything about Goff, I've always added the caveat, and I pray to God I'm wrong, because I'll be the happiest person in the room. So go out there and show them why they should have kept you, JG. I hope you can do it. I feel like you should be able to. We are a better team than the Rams. I'm not worried about the Rams defense disrupting the Lions offense. It's the other one that I'm worried about. But we'll see what happens.